So many things to say right now. Welcome to another episode. No, this is a rendition of Round for Round, but I just think it's so cool when Jeremiah say that shit.
Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Sports. I am your host.
Welcome to another episode. I am your host. Oh, man. This is a rendition of Round for Round. You know, in the studio, we have Tall Tone, the psychologist. Holla at him.
Yes, sir. Tall Tone. You know, it's all about the mind, man. Think,
don't blink. And then you got myself, the #1 neighborhood sports analyst, Millie One Kenobi. And so many things to say, like Bob Marley. All right, so we're going to play a clip of our previous footage when we was giving predictions on the Lundy and the Crawford fight. All right, so here's the clip.
I don't see this fight being boring just because both their styles. Their styles don't make for boring. Now, I have seen Lundy get hurt and then kind of
play around,
get on his bicycle and then start. That right there, if he come out and he feels something early and then the fight looks like that, then it'll be boring. But
Crawford won't do that.
But no, Crawford won't. Crawford is going to press it because he wants to knock you out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He wants to. That's just that's the only way he's taking it out of the judge's hands. Period. Point blank. If he can. And so but it's not like he's a brawler, like put his head in there, but he's going to come at you economically, but ferociously at the same time.
Like one thing Crawford likes to do, he likes to get you comfortable in your spaces, and he won't let you know that you're open right away. And he'll let you get comfortable. He'll let you get comfortable with being open. He might even hit you. He might even let you know a little bit, but the punch won't really hurt. So a guy thinking I could take his power, and once he got you comfortable enough, he sees that right positioning, he's gonna, next time he hits you, he's gonna have a lot more mustard on it.
Right.
You know, and it's gonna be like some shit you ain't see coming because you got comfortable in that position.
And we've seen it done before. Maybe Lundy thing is just to get under his skin a minute, you know, because he knows that he needs him pressing like that.
I pick a Crawford knockout.
Well,
what round?
I'm gonna say
about 7.
7, okay.
I say it go 12. But I'm leaning more on the. I'm gonna go 10-3. Just to one up Rich, just so 13, I can,
you know that's 13 rounds, right?
All right, so getting back to it.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Both of y'all was wrong. Rich the Ruler, he not in the studio today. We don't have a full panel, that's why I call it a 2-man rendition. But I think what Rich said 12, 10 out of 2.
Said something like that.
You said 13. You know, you said 10 out of 3 out of 10, 3 out of 13.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, you know.
Right, so like, what's your? And I was the closest with 6, around 6 it would end. So, what's your take on the fighting and what happened?
Size was a bigger difference than what I thought it was gonna be. The overall talent was different. Crawford is just a different animal, especially at 140. I don't see anybody at 140 even being able to compete with that dude. I think that we won't see him in competitive fights until he goes into 47 and maybe gets from under top rank. We probably won't see him and get challenged. I think he's gonna wash everything in and around that division.
Probably so. I mean, I think he has a short window though. Because unfortunately, Crawford is 28, going to be 29 this year. So by the time he's 30, he better be ready to make a move.
Right.
Sort of like Floyd did. But
right.
Getting on to the fight, I think Lundy don't have the chin for 140. Because when Crawford hit him with that shot, there was no recovery.
No
recovery.
His legs never recovered.
It was just so much shock to it. But when I was watching the fight, and by the second round, I figured, it's going to go 4 to 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. I even shortened my prediction because, like, watching Crawford's fights, and this is what I like about Crawford. And I was saying this too, right, in our predictions. Crawford, he's a very patient fighter. And it's a fine line between, waiting for a good shot. That's totally different, waiting for a good shot. To me, it's not. You're not really studying.
Right.
What Crawford does is he's paying attention to his opponent, his hitches, and different little tips that his opponent is giving away as he's fighting.
Right.
And when he gets his timing on, then he locks in and he sets traps. So he might plan to knock out, rounds later. And if you look at like the Gamboa fight, similar kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of different because Ben Gamboa is a highly skilled fighter. Or if you look at Delorme, and it was something that really tipped my hand with that really tipped me to his style with Delorme was when I think it was like 5th round. He smiled at him like,
yeah.
And then the next round knocked him out.
Right.
So I told me he studies his opponents, and I think he did the same with Lundy.
Well, I like again. I think that he's 5'8".
Crawford?
Yeah,
he's
5'10",
like 5'10", really though, bro.
Well, they
list him as 5'8". Mayweather is 5'8", though.
They listed Mayweather at 5'8.5". That's what I'm saying. I would like to see that tell of a tape. I would like to see them stand next to each other.
They got the picture on Facebook.
He's towering over.
He kind of like head and shoulders. Yeah.
Okay, well, with that again, he's fighting smaller fighters than Floyd.
Right.
There's none of Gamboa didn't belong in the ring with that guy. We already know that. That was a total mismatch. And by the looks of it, you can tell what he did with Lundy. Lundy didn't belong in the ring with that man. The size, along with the skill, it was no shot with the size. Like, you could have a similar style, similar skill set type of opponent. If he's walking around at 5'7", that fight is both of those fights may be totally different. But when you get somebody with that kind of skill, the arm reach advantage, the height advantage, you know what I'm saying? It's just too many advantages that he has. And he's more technically sound than a lot of the guys that he walks in the ring with too, and he knows it. And so it's just, it's not when he's gonna get him. It's not if he's gonna get him out of there.
It's how he's gonna get him
and win.
Right. You know what? He should start. Since he has that kind of style where he sets up knockouts like that. He should start predicting. I think it would add a little theater to boxing, sort of like how Ali used to do little things like that. But also telling the tape with the fight too is I think Lundy, he's Zab Judah-ish to me. He's kind of Zab, whereas he'll have hot flashes. He'll start good early on, and he'll kind of burn out the fight go on. So I think style-wise, I think they're just two different styles.
Right.
Whereas Crawford gets better as the fight goes on.
Right.
And then something that was interesting in that fight too was that the 4th round, I think he would have knocked him out. But Lundy kind of switched up he switched to southpaw, which changed his timing a little bit.
Right.
But by then, he was already kind of honed in to him.
Right.
So